Yo, brother. Uh, yo, brother. Uh, yo, brother. Yo, brother.
NFL action began in Detroit a few hours ago, and now it continues here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where today we've got a great one, Brock, as our John Madden Thanksgiving celebration continues. It's the Dallas Cowboys, hosts on Thanksgiving since way back in 1966, welcoming in the Kansas City Chiefs. A Thanksgiving tradition continues as the teams are lined up and off we go here in Dallas. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. It's a gift to Hunt. Well, maybe the rest of the game is going to be headed in the proper direction, Brock, but their first play winds up going backwards. Offense in the hurry up here.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 33-yard line.
To the air, Mahomes. He rolls to his right. He's taking a shot down the side. Big gain downfield. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. They've gained 30 yards on that play. And that's a Chiefs first down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom. Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
1st and 10. It's Mahomes. Let him get it to Rashee Rice. Complete. Their next snap is going to come from the red zone, Brock. He's down to that 17-yard line. They got 21 yards on the play. And it's going to be first down, Kansas City.
The numbers are pretty clear, Kate. You get explosive plays. Those explosive plays on drives lead to points. You can't ask for a better start offensively.
Offense getting set. Here's first and 10. From the red zone now. Brought in. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs take a 6-0 lead right away. Travis Kelce, the touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for him, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
That one right down the middle. And the Chiefs will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Butker on now to kick this one away. Return coming from the 6. And this will give him some decent field position here, partner. And this gets out to the 30.
Take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
All right, going empty as they come to the line. It's first and 10.
Going to 53.
Opening play, and Dak's going to throw. Right side, Ferguson's got it. And he takes this up to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of 4 on the play.
Brings up second and 5 at the 35-yard line.
Here we go, going to 54, going to 54. Wide 8, 26.
Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. They connect on the deep shot. And he's finally down to put a stop to this one, but a notable chunk of yardage broken off with that gain. Offense up to the line fast.
And the Cowboys first down.
46.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Prescott on first and 10. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. Working quickly here.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up second and 3 at the 21-yard line.
Dak now from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's got it inside the 15 before going out. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
14-yard line.
We're going to 54, wide 8.
First down, here's Dak. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys finish off their opening drive. George Pickens, the touchdown. Brandon Aubrey now on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Cowboys start off well to tie things 7-7. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Okay, well that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out first and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Mahomes. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And we'll see what they do here on second down. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
Off the play fake, it's Mahomes. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Tried connecting with Xavier Worthy there. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
That's a throw at this level. With so much speed and length, you got to be real careful. Rarely do you find a clean window down the middle. That'd be absolutely perfect, and it wasn't there.
3rd down, it's Mahomes. Completed to his running back. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's a Chiefs 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Mahomes on 1st and 10. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his 1st career interception.
Well, that defense got a little something extra after the pick, and any return is normally a product of good coaching. They drill this all the time on the practice field about becoming a runner, finding the near sideline, your defensive players becoming blockers, and I know it doesn't show up as a ton of return yards on the stat sheet, but boy, every yard's important and critical in the game of football.
Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. Complete out to the right. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. Entire playbook is open here, Brock. It is 2nd and inches.
At the Chiefs' 43-yard line.
They'll run in here with Jaden Blue. And he works this to the 38 before going down. Moving quickly, trying to get set. Throwing on 1st is Prescott. And no place for him to go. The Chiefs take him down. Offense in a hurry up here.
A loss of 7 brings up 2nd and 17 at the Chiefs' 44-yard line.
Now Prescott. Finds him on the crossing route. And he's taken down at the 30. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
A gain of 14 yards brings up 3rd down.
Prescott now to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to be touched down as he gets him enough to pick up the 1st down. No doubt they'll take a repeat of how this game began, Brock, and that play has them on their way towards it.
Scripting for success. They'll keep pressing the advantage, too, until some resistance has got to finally appear.
1st and 10, Prescott. Working it complete to Brian Robinson Jr. And he's going to be hit, sent out after about a gain of 1, maybe 2 yards there. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8.
Prescott to throw once more. And this is caught. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Quite the strike to his tight end, and the patience he showed waiting for that to break open. That was awesome, and it's rewarded with 6.
You know, it should be simple, Kate, right? In philosophy, it should be simple. Just plaster that big guy. Throw bodies at him in coverage, but stopping the tight end near the end zone is anything but simple with how deceptively good they are as route runners and finding that football when it arrives.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock, so they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10.
Yellow,
Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. Escapes the pocket. Winds up and chucks this deep right. He's got it inside the 10. And he's going to get this down to the 9. That puts him in goal to go.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive jump. You've got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside.
And he will get this to the end zone for a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs trim the lead to 1. Made the right read on the RPO inside the red zone, Brock, and things worked out.
And you know what is so key about these RPOs? It's that mesh point. It's the details right there. Not immediately giving any indication of what they were going to do, and it created, Kate, the slightest of hesitations for the defense. And that slightest opportunity is all he needed to hit the end zone.
Butker with the extra point. And the Chiefs tie things up at 14. We're 1 quarter closer to some turkey as we reach the end of one on Thanksgiving. Both teams neck and neck so far. Back to AT&T Stadium in just a moment.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after tying this game up, they're all set to center away. And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35. Second quarter all set to begin, and it'll be Cowboys football. They'll begin a new drive, 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And they send it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, here we go. Hey, take line in. Hey, kill.
From the gun is Prescott. This one caught by C.D. Lamb. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Yep, they were going to 53. Line in, 26.
Robinson on the inside give. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Last run got him 7. Here comes 2nd and 3.
Yeah! Here we go, line in. There we go, kill. 26.
Prescott here from the gun. Dumps it off to his running back. And he's got this one down to the enemy 35 before they force him out. An even 10-yard gain on the play. And that'll be good for a Dallas 1st down. All set to go now from the 35.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
26.
1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Hits him on the out route. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
There we go. Here we go. Line in. There we go, 47. There we go, going to 54. Line in, 26.
Prescott will look to throw. Forced out to his right. And back-to-back passes that should have been intercepted. 2 great chances to take it away. Both of them dropped, Brock, and now they stay out there for 3rd down.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite hang on.
That's Ferguson. He brings it in. And they haul him down just a foot or 2 shy of the red zone. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And that's good for a Dallas 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Line in.
Going right side, Robinson with it. And they're going to be humbled here on 1st down. Going to wind up losing yards on this play. They sent him with that sack in mind, Brock. We all saw what was coming, so managed to clean up the play, even if it did come on the ground.
And you know why they call that a cat pressure from the secondary, Kate?
Tell me.
Because it's a C for corner and AT for attack, exactly what he just did.
Switch it, hey.
Dak to the air here. And screen here to Blue. And he gets this forward to the 19.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here.
Kill. There we go, kill. Line in. Here we go, go to 54, line in.
3rd and long for him here. This is caught by Blue. And he's going to have enough for the 1st down. Not by much, but he's got it. That's all that matters. Sets him up with a 1st and goal. Well, it has been an exciting one so far as we have reached our 2-minute warning. Stay with us. More from AT&T Stadium coming up. 4 downs to get this across. Here's first and goal.
Yeah! Here we go. Wide in. There we go. Kill. There we go. Going to 54. Wide in.
Here's Robinson. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys get some late points and the lead. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out. And that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
That kick a whole lot easier after that penalty, right? And he sent it through. Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out on the back of the end zone for a touchback. All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. All those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
The second down throw for Mahomes. He throws a bullet to the center of the field. Really pushing the envelope on second down, but the deep shot doesn't work.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Throw here, 3rd down. That's complete inside the 35. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs earn the chance to tie it before halftime.
A receiver this skilled, well, he's got every route in his back pocket, but sometimes simple is better. No complicated cuts, no double moves. You just go run right by him.
Butker to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chiefs tie this game at 21. So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. And he takes it in the end zone for a touchback.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
To the line come the Cowboys. Good starting spot here. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap and give to Blue. Small gain there. Maybe 3 if he's lucky to begin this drive.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. Really create some indecision now defensively.
4 yards on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 6.
Yeah, here we go. Like this. Wide in. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Wide in. Wait, take.
Working out of the gun. It's Prescott. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And they come through the sack to bring around 3rd down. The Chiefs signal for a timeout. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. offense going with a 4-receiver set, 3rd and long.
We're going to 53. Here we go, 47. 26.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
So far, this script, well, it's dictated some early looks for this running back, and now you're seeing the adjustment defensively. Not so easy on those checkdowns. Nowhere for that ball to go.
And not only does he go in the wrong direction, but he's stopped for a net loss on the return.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. On the move, headed right. And he's just going to huck this one into about row C there, and some lucky fan going to haul in a heck of a souvenir.
Kate, I got to believe he harkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
Following the incompletion, we stay at the 35. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Left side, it's caught by Rice. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
And ooh, this one does not have a chance. They were ready for that one, and the effort brings up 4th down. The Cowboys signaling for their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. From their own side, they're going to go for this. They need about 2. Mahomes throwing on 4th. That'll be the first and more. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. Timeout taken by Kansas City. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Here's 1st and 10 from the 47.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Off play action, it's Mahomes. Buys time, rolling right. Caught for big yards on the right side. And they bring him down, but not before he advances it all the way to the 20. The Chiefs will use their 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Out left, Worthy makes the grab. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. There's a flag down, though, so if it's defensive, Brock, halftime's going to have to wait 1 more snap. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment.
Harrison
we're set up for an incredible second half. All tied as we kick it away here in quarter number 3. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. The Cowboys have it in great field position as they come up to the line, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
On the give, it's Blue. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
Kill. Yeah. Here we go. Hey, 47. 26.
Here's Prescott. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
This defense, they had a plan, and they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
Switch it, hey. Here we go, 47. 26.
Prescott now on 3rd down. He's got it, complete to Pickens. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. They pick up 14 yards on that one, and that'll be good for a Dallas 1st down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
1st and 10, around to Robinson. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Hey, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7. Dak now from the gun. Chased out to his right. For the sideline, and it's intercepted. Nick Bolton has it. And the Chiefs are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season. Well, Brock, it was an absolute battle in the first half as they played to a tie heading into the locker rooms. And already we have the first big play of half number 2 with that INT.
Yeah, not just the first big play, but maybe the first separating play here, Kate. There's always a moment in the second half, especially where one of these teams makes the play, right? That one that we're going to circle and look back to as the defining play of the half. We may just have witnessed it right there.
To the air, Mahomes. Finds him on the crossing route. Just after the catch, he is hit and stopped. A nice gain, though, down to the enemy 41. And it's a gain of 12 on that one. And it's going to be 1st down, Kansas City.
A gain of 12. 1st down, Chiefs.
Hey, 43. Attack!
Off the play fake, it's Mahomes. Buying some time right. He's going to let this go deep down the right side of the field. That throw intended for Drake London. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss, whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Back to the air, Mahomes. To the left and hauled in by Kelsey. And he's taken down at the 30. They gain 11 on that play. And that's a Chiefs 1st down.
Kansas City Chiefs. 1st down. A gain of 11 on the play. 1st
They
down.
go play action. It's Mahomes. On it to the yearly picked it. Oh, couldn't hang on in the end. The offense got lucky on a risky throw there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bringing it in. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
Following the near interception, this is 2nd and 10. Another throw for Mahomes. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. No luck finding his receiver that time. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
Got a man, and Kelsey has it. And it'll be 1st and goal. Stop is made at the 5-yard line.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. Man, did he make an impact play.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Here's Mahomes on a designed run. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on 1st and goal. And dose of the hurry up here. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They jumped the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag. There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards. 2nd and goal now, 5 yards more difficult following that penalty. Blitz coming, Mahomes. And he hauls that one in. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs grab the lead on their first series of the half. Travis Kelce, the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Butker to try the point after. And the kick is good. And we're going to have some extra yardage added to the kickoff on the roughing call. So they got him for roughing the kicker. They're going to put that penalty yardage on the spot of the ensuing kickoff. Butker on now to kick this one away. He's got the squiver. He's brought down, and that was close, Brock. Maybe a yard away from surrendering 2 points, but the stop did come outside the goal line.
Can't happen. Man, that's just something you never, ever see at this level. That's a complete failure of operation, not just by the returner, but the return team in general. And now, instead of getting to your normal offense, you got to find some way, somehow, to dig yourself out of this hole.
Prescott out of his end zone. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be marked down 5 yards short of that first. Working quickly here.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 5-yard line.
Here we go, kill. Here we go, 46. 47. Here we go, go to 54, go to 54. Gun.
From the gun is Prescott. Into the hands of Pickett. And this is across midfield and into enemy territory.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
47.
First down, here's Dak. Connecting on the slant. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. That play good for 17 and a first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
29-yard line.
To the line and set. Here we go, first down.
Going to 53. 26.
From the gun, it's Robinson. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
We're going to 54 wide. Hey, kill!
Prescott here from the gun. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
That's somebody they're going to look for if he has any space deep. That space, though, Kate, just disappeared between when he let that pass go and when he actually made it down the field.
So after that prior incompletion, it's third down.
Yeah! There we go! Wide in! Here we go, going to 54, going to 54, wide in! Crush! Hey, kill! Here we go, 46. Play. 26.
Dak off the play fake. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that brings up 4th and long.
You hear defensive coaches preach this all the time about not giving up the big play. Keep everything in front of you. They're going to need to stay vigilant because he's definitely a receiver who can take the lid off of a defense.
7-yard attempt.
Aubrey puts it through. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
It's kind of a weird feeling, right? You know that you capitalized on the turnover, you technically scored points, but when you look up at that scoreboard, you have to do more with that takeaway.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.